Are you a strong celebrity or are you a smart celebrity?
I don't know what I would do.
Now, who would have thought that MrBeast would have any relevance to what we do in the mental performance realm? Well, I guess it does, because here we are.
Coach 'em up, Nick. Coach 'em up, Nick. Coach 'em up, Nick. Get your mind right.
Welcome back, guys, to Coach 'em Up, Nick, where we integrate the mental performance to any practical topics in the world. In this case, we're doing MrBeast. And like I said, were the odds that he would have something that I could speak on? Now, we already did a video talking about this on our Mind Body One channel about the more working memory, cognitive load, and performance aspects of this video. But on Coach 'em Up, Nick, we're going to get more into the mindset side. Now, just to recap, it's 30 celebrities challenging to win $1 million. Now, from the actual challenges, it's going to take their abilities. But from the mindset side, I want to talk about competitiveness. Now, obviously, these people have money, so that's why they're doing it for charity. But nonetheless, they care about these charities and they want to compete at a high level to get that money for them. Now, you notice throughout the video, there's taunting, there's joking, there's some deceit. There's a lot of different things where people will do to get that prize. And it's also risk-taking because one of the first challenges was trying to win one of the biggest fans of cars.
If you manage to throw a dodgeball through any one of those 5 hoops, we will give your biggest fan the car.
And then they had to throw a dodgeball through a hoop, and almost all of them missed it. But basically, that was taking a risk, and that's where it comes to like parasocial relationships, but we won't get into all of that. Let's talk about athletic, in this case, performance identity, because this is how well you identify it to the case of performing for the task at hand. So that's why originally athletic refers to the sport, but since it's more of a challenge, it's going to be more just a performance in said task. And this is important because what traits are needed to compete and get the job done? Now, there's different ones we could talk about. Now, these celebrities that have their identities in their respective craft, that they were musicians, if they were actors, comedians, whatever it is. But here, they get to bring that to life and add in what they do to win. Now, when it comes to personality, we talk about different ones like conscientiousness, extroversion, open to experience, neuroticism. So what we see a lot on this one is extroversion, right? During a MrBeast video, you got to be active. You got to be social. That's why the celebs in the first place. But one thing they might take it too far when we talk about personality is something we call the Dark Triad. Now, you probably didn't think I would talk about this on a video about celebrities winning money for charity, but these elements come up several times. So what is the Dark Triad? So there's 3 traits on it. There's Machiavellianism, psychopathy, and narcissism. Now, these traits at a grand scheme could be very detrimental and aren't good, but to some degree, a subclinical level, we all have essences of them because they are needed to perform. So where can we see some of these? Let's start with Machiavellianism. What's this? This is someone's ability to deceit or be deceitful to get their goal. You see this a lot with politicians, people trying to gain power in society, or even Hollywood celebrities. So it's not very surprising that they might have this. And Howie Mandel showed this.
Howie did it on his whole phone.
I didn't even realize this while we were shooting.
He took a screenshot of the stack of blocks for the working memory tests, and that was cheating. So it's like he did whatever it needed to take, and he even joked and said, hey, I'm doing it for cancer, so you can't get mad at that. And you're right, you can't. But it was doing whatever it takes. So when you're competing against these people, you got to be careful because they'll do any means necessary to get that win, even if it means putting you behind. Now, psychopathy, to a low level, this shows up too. So this is being able to be apathetic or indifferent to what you're doing to get to the goal. So you can see how this goes hand in hand with the Machiavellianism, because you have to be able to be okay that if I screw this person over or do this, it's okay with me because I got to get to my goal. Now, there's a part where Diplo was playing around with the handcuffs, and while he was doing it, they slapped it on him and he was eliminated from the game.
I dare you. You won't do it. You just did it?
You won't do it.
Ah!
So you have to be able to go above and beyond these measures. Now, the last one, narcissism. I'm not going to say these people are narcissistic, but there's narcissistic traits because once again, they have to do above and beyond for them to win. So there's cases where, oh, my charity is important. They all are important, but it's like, I'm going to go over and above to emphasize that. So it's a level of competitiveness that may go a little further than average, but in certain situations, it can be beneficial because it gets you further than the person who won't. Now, another side of psychology we talk about when it comes to competitiveness is task and ego. Now, with task and ego, it kind of gives it away in the title, but it's basically how do you orient when it comes to performing? We both orient to each side. Task is more so the ability and skill of doing, while ego is what do I get out of it? How do I make it for me to win or achieve? Now, we saw this a little bit in the dodgeball car competition for the fans because why do it and risk it on the first? It eliminated a lot of people, like 5 or 6 people. And the ego of, oh, I want to win it for my fan is not misplaced. Like I said, parasocial relationships is how we identify with people, even though we don't really know them. So fans definitely have that. And then the celebrities have it back because they're never going to meet everyone who likes them. But the fans definitely get a more interpersonal relationship with them through their movies, their shows, their social media, whatever it may be. So the ego side of it is needed because you have to have some edge to want to do it and win. Now, the task side is a skill. Now, with the baking competition, when they had to cook a dish for the judges, there's a lot of skill involved because if you can't cook and you're on a team of people who can't cook, guess what? The task side ain't going to make a difference. You saw some of the ego where they tried to butter up the judges by making I think it was a chocolate pie to butter up the judges.
One of the first things I ever made was a chocolate pizza because of you. I adore you.
So this goes back to that ego side versus the task. It wasn't that good. It didn't look good and smell good. But guess what? It was trying to get the ego of, oh, we did this for you, and butter up their ego as well. So you can see how to choose this makes sense based off of your skill set alone. And in performance psychology, a lot of times we don't understand. It's not necessarily about saying, here's some skills to make you mentally stronger and there you go. It's about educating the person or the client how to use said skills or adapt or navigate said skills when it makes more sense. Because if I need to get hyped for an event, I'm probably not going to do calming task or box breathing, or vice versa. If I need to get calmed down, I'm probably not jumping up and down, slapping my head, trying to get crunk. So you got to know when to navigate it. So that's why understanding these concepts and we educate you with them is about how can I now use them? Because while MrBeast was trying to give away $1 million and he was able to help charity, but in everyday life, whether you're a competitor in a sport, you're in school, you're in a job, you're in a business trying to grow, these are concepts that you're going to have to live and learn by. When it comes to Machiavellianism, have you had times where you did what you probably shouldn't have under the table to make it happen? No judgment, but you might have, or vice versa. Someone did something to you where it put you on the back burner and left you high and dry and had very detrimental consequences. Or when you're in a situation where your task and your skill set is very much there, do you emphasize how good you are so you can lean on your abilities? Or do you sometimes negate that and say, you know what? My abilities are great, but I'm going to use my competitiveness and my will to win to more so push me. They both have their place, but it's up to you to understand to get your mind right.